What is going on? My name is Miguel Gutierrez. Thank you for tuning in and clicking on this video. I made this video for you. If you are a perfectionist like I am, it's got its pros and it's got a lot of cons, to be honest. You tend to be stressed the heck out. If you're a perfectionist, things have to be perfect. It's in the word. And if they're not, then you can't move forward. One quick way that I used to be my perfectionism would come out is I had to clean my house, not super duper spotless, but just get things in order before I can start tackling important things that I need to do, such as doing homework, doing things that need to get done. I would spend maybe an hour and a half cleaning and then finally start doing what's actually important. But by the time I'm done cleaning, now I'm exhausted and now I need a nap. And now I give my lesser amount of energy to the things that actually matter. So that's just one way where I can be spending my energy on things that aren't as important. And then the things that are important, I procrastinate to do. That is how perfectionism came about for me. But one helpful tip that I want to give you today that has been immensely helpful for me as it pertains to being a perfectionist and trying to move forward in life without needing things to be perfect. If you're a perfectionist, you want to be able to see movement. You want to be able to get things done and begin to stop and stop procrastinating. Because as perfectionists, you would think like as a perfectionist, you get a lot done, which some do, but really a lot of perfectionists procrastinate because they need things to be a certain way and feel just right before they can begin doing. But as you'll learn in life, you got to start doing and your emotions will catch up, and you can't wait for emotions to line up because they never will. One helpful tip that really helped me overcome perfectionism, and I'm still overcoming. I have not arrived, but it is this: beginning to view life and moments that are important to you, and such as going to a job interview and interviewing for a job that you really want to get. Moments like these, taking on a mindset of I am practicing. What do I mean by that? For example, in the example of wanting to get the job and you're going into an interview, you might go into it thinking, I really want this job. I really hope I get it. If I don't get it, I'm going to be really sad and I'm going to end up feeling like a failure if I don't get the job. That mindset, there's a lot of pressure on you. You have to get the job. When you go in, if you're already socially awkward, or if you have social anxiety, then it just increases that even more because you really need to get this job because you put so much pressure on yourself. But when you take on a mindset of I'm practicing, you're practicing. Who's nervous to practice? If I'm going to the gym to play basketball, which I used to do a lot, and I would go to LA Fitness and I would go by myself and I'm just putting up shots. I didn't go there nervous at all. I would just go there I was enjoying it actually. In the same way, high pressure moments in life, such as going to a job interview, don't have to be as anxiety provoking because you can view it as I am practicing. And I actually implemented this in my interviewing processes where I was going to jobs that they were relevant to what I actually did want the job, but I was also taking on reality, knowing that I'm likely not going to get this because this job is a little bit out of my reach. But I was just going, knowing that I was likely not going to get it, but also I was going with the mindset of I'm going to practice because I'm going to be in a room of 4 interviewers asking me really questions that I wasn't most comfortable answering at the time as it pertained to like accounting and stuff like that. But I went into it and I learned how to fall on my face and get up and try again. As perfectionists, when we fall down, we're like, I don't want to feel that again. I need to make sure I get super duper prepared before I do that again. Instead of saying, I'm going to fall on my face, I'm going to have moments where I fall and I get back up and I try again. And so I went through probably 4 interviews in a row in like a span of like maybe a month or two. And I was going into it kind of knowing like I might not get this. I'm probably not going to. But it wasn't like a self-pity thing. It was more of like taking on a mindset of I'm just going to go in with the mindset of I'm practicing. Like I don't need to get this job. I want it and I'll be happy if I do. But more so, I want to practice and I want to learn how to operate in moments where I usually am stressed out and taking the stress off my shoulders. This is a learning process. You won't get this in 1 month. This is a mindset that you have to take on and you'll learn as you go. But practicing really releases the pressure because you're not putting all this weight on this one moment for it to work out. And if it doesn't work out, then I'm screwed. That's not the mindset. So start to view moments where if you're dating somebody and you know this is a high pressure for you, or if you're going into job interviews, whatever it may be, life is just a lot of practicing. You don't figure things out on one try. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just need to keep on practicing. So this was one thing that was immensely helpful for me to not need everything to be perfect anymore. And like I said, it's a work in process and it is a learning journey. But begin to practice instead of putting so much pressure on yourself. View it as practice. I will see you on the next one.